Welcome to kcheebplays, Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Let's get started. Kalinka and Ludmila were on their weekly tour of the tourism area, checking progress, making sure materials were being delivered so the build can continue, all those project management things. Ludmila said, "I had no idea how long it takes to build roads. I was expecting them to be done now so we could at least get to the sites and check the views." Kalinka said, "You get used to it after a while, and don't forget, Ludmila, we're about as far away as we can be from our construction offices. If we didn't have helicopters to bring the materials, you could double how long it would take. The ground-based construction crews haven't even finished the main road yet." Kalinka took a deep breath and asked, "Ludmila, how are you and Uliov getting on? You usually have lunch together, and he's not been himself." Ludmila responded, "Truth be told, we got into a big fight last week, and I'm still angry with him." "I see," said Kalinka. "Have you spoken since?" "He's called a few times, but I've not taken them. I need some time to come to terms with what he said to me." Kalinka warned, "I don't think you should avoid him too long, Ludmila. Once Uliov makes his mind up about something, he's very hard to dissuade." "Thank you, Kalinka. I won't." Christoph knocked on Uliov's door. He heard some rustling, drawers being closed, and waited. "Come in," Uliov said. Christoph opened the door and was a little shocked at Uliov's state. His eyes were red and he looked a little disheveled. He closed the door behind him and took a seat. Uliov blurted out, "You won't take my calls, Christoph. I think we're done." "Hold on, Uliov," Christoph said. "What happened?" "We got in a fight about money last week and she stormed out. I haven't seen her in the office and she won't take my calls. I'm not sure what to do." "I'm so sorry to hear that, Uliov. I'm sure things are going to work out. Just give her some time and space," Christoph advised. Our status meeting with Clarence is in 5 minutes. Are you up for it?" "Thank you, Christoph," Uliov said. "I'm not sure I am. Can you handle it?" "Absolutely, and don't worry too much. I'm sure you two can work it out." "Thanks again, Christoph." At the start of the meeting, Clarence asked, "Where's Uliov? I wanted to apologize for not setting up the road services fire station, and I'm pretty sure we'll need at least a clinic in the tourist town." "He's busy working on another project, Clarence. I'll be sure to let him know. I'd like to change the focus of this meeting, okay?" "That'll be fine. We've decided to continue expansion on the island. We need the construction offices, bauxite mine, and town planned as soon as you can. I'd also like you to look at what it will take to start making aluminum." "This is exciting, Christoph. After spending the last few months putting up more housing and poring over rail networks, I'm ready for this." Hi, Cheeb here. So we finally got a decision on where we're going. Although the plans have kind of changed a little bit. Got a chance to pick Dennis's brain about some of the rail layout and just put me through a really great tutorial and design principles that he uses for junctions and how to lay things out. Now, it'd be really nice if I could just sort of nuke it and rebuild it in the way I go, but I want to try to do this in stages. So I'll be working on different areas in here, but also continuing on with the planning of this area. So I believe what I'm going to be doing is another construction area, like road and helicopter construction area right in here, a city up in this area to feed at workers and workers for some of the upcoming industries, primarily the aluminum industry, which I kind of see being down in this area, because the aluminum industry will be down here, and then I can feed along the coast. I might even put the aluminum industry in there. I'm not 100% sure at this point, but the bauxite's all right here, so I can build out this way and then run a rail line down here to facilitate the pickup and then ultimately the drop off up here of the bauxite, do the processing, can run maybe run buses. I'm not sure if the bus idea is going to work just based on the distances. It's possible, maybe not. We'll see how that all shakes out. But Yeah, so running the rail line through here and then up in this area is ultimately where the words uranium ore is. So this is basically going to be Uranium City up here, if you will, with a city, some other city feeding workers into that, and then possibly down into the aluminum area as well. So that's the plan for that. That'll be a little bit later, probably a wrap up in this episode where I'll fight with laying things out and how I want things and whatnot. But I think for the time, the first little bit here, I've got some real supply issues. I spent a whole bunch of time looking at the COs and what they're doing, and it's scattered all over the place. And I think I need to just refocus a little bit on what specifically each one's doing. And in here, I think it's this one. This is basically going to become just food, meat, and clothes distribution. I don't think I need it to do anything else. I can run individual trains to deal with the chemicals and the grain in here without an issue. Shouldn't be a problem at all. And then that'll allow this to focus and make sure that we have food, meat, and clothes everywhere we need it. Because right now that's not happening on a consistent basis. So even a little bit of oil can run individual trains, pick up, drop off, wait till unloaded kind of things, and some fuel as well. So it's a real mixed bag for it. But if I can get it to focus on that, that's great. And then the other big issue that I had, I'm going to pause this because I know it's just going to tank the happiness and government loyalty, is the supply of our still imported electronics. So I can handle that from this end. It's already set up, but it's not complete to pick up and drop off at all of the city warehouses. So I'll make sure that happens. Excuse me, words. And make that adjustment. Again, I need to make sure that all the goods are there, because even though I'm not playing on the hardest citizen reactions, it's still a situation where declining happiness results in declining productivity, which means nothing gets done. So at any rate, the first episode or two of the big rail rejig is going to have to do with basically getting rid of this junction. This line is going to go away. We'll have a little branch coming off here to facilitate the in, and then the out will be down this way and back around through this junction. Not a high traffic situation, and it's a single track, so it's from a blocking perspective isn't going to cause any issues, and we'll be joining into an existing junction here already, and there's more than enough space here between where we peel off and what happens there. So it's just not going to be an issue. There's only 3 trains running from here anyways, so it's not going to be a problem. So that'll doing that one first will allow me to get rid of the rest of this line, and then a whole bunch of these little lines that come off can go away because we don't need them. And in fact, really the only thing we will need from this whole junction is this line in to allow trains access into here, should we need to ever add more trains or upgrade trains or do any of those kind of things, because our depot is down this one. So short term, the only thing we need it to keep is this loop to allow them back in to Mayadzol, and this one to get out. So as soon as I can get rid of this, the rest of these inner loops can just go away. Well, not this one, but these three can go away, and then I'll be able to rework all of those. So gonna do that in a little bit of a time lapse, just the planning of this, and I'll be back in a sec. Hi, Cheeb, back again. Sorry, little interruption. I was thinking maybe I would just cut it away and let it go while I was doing that, but it's really not going to take that long to get this sorted out. So first thing that I should do is take care of this situation. So this is only going to be picking up food, meat, and dropping off food and meat to the three warehouses. It's also going to be picking up clothes, so we need to replace a chemical line from the warehouse here. And where am I dropping chemicals off? I believe that's, yeah, there. So might even be able to switch that over to the other, this one, depending on which wagons it has. And yeah, it can definitely do chemicals there, and there's only 11 things assigned at this point in time, so I think that's probably a reasonable switch up in who's doing what. So let's see if I've got anything. Maybe I have a duplicate one in here, who knows. I got kind of lost in, yeah, so it's the Lona warehouse too. Maybe that can just be taken away. Yeah, it's already there. It's probably an export. Yeah, this is an export one. Yeah, I don't really mind losing the export on the chemicals. It's not going to be that big a deal, and if I just change that, so I'm not exporting the chemical anymore, but I am picking it up from Lona, 25%. I don't think I need to even put that in there when it's for supply, but at any rate, oh, shoot, need to pick the right. There we go. Yeah, make sure you got the right one. Okay, so 25% pick up there, and my drop off of chemicals is at the right here. Just make sure that that's the case. Yep. Get that sorted out. And unload chemicals. I don't want the chemicals at 100%. Just keep them churning ships out. Okay, so I should be able to get rid of this one. And then I can also get rid of, where's my drop off? I removed the drop off already, the pickup. So there's 2 destinations done. Now, how are we looking? 13. So it's a little bit better, but I really do want to keep it focused on the the important things, and that's only going to grow as we get more cities as well. So I need to set up a train for grain transfers from there to here. So yeah, that's pretty much what I suspected. So this is going to be a new train. They can just run probably 4 cars. I don't think I need to run any more than that. And everything's going to be fine. And then I can remove these 2 from here. And then those cars that are being used for grain now can be used for clothes, meat, and food. So, electric locomotive, speed. And cargo wagon. Because there aren't that many, I tend to just go with these. 4 of them will be enough. I believe if I'm 220 tons at a time, that's fine. So, Duchesne grain storage. Pick up, and I can set you to wait till unloaded, and then what'll happen is when this is empty, it'll just sit there and wait until just for the following year. So that's cool. And unload here. Unload crops. And I should probably check to see how many. There's 2. Got 2, yeah. So I can set it to wait till unloaded. This has never been full anyways, and we're looking at 10,000 tons. So I don't think it's anytime they come in and drop off, they're going to be dropping off there. So pick up grain, wait till you're loaded, and then unloaded. Away you go. Start that one up, and I can get rid of these 2. And this is all in trying to stabilize my my citizens' needs and supply in the city. So, that being said, I'm not going to need to have an export there. Oil, and I think this is, yeah, here. If I set up 1 train, I can get it to sit there to wait till unloaded. I mean, this is 750 tons. It's just going to be more of a buffer. It can go grab some more and then sit there and wait until it's unloaded. I've got 1 train, 1 track. And if you remember back an episode or 2 ago, this actually, because of the distribution office actually ended up blocking because there was more than 1 train trying to get in there. So I think it's better that it's set up outside distribution office just for that reason. So I'll be getting myself another train. I don't want to let this run until I get... Oh, that's handy. So that's 130 tons. I can just give myself, or get myself... Oops, speed. Electric locomotive, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'll just go with this one. Then put these 2 cars on there. I can add to it if I find that it's not being able to keep up, but I honestly don't think it's going to be an issue given how much it's going to go through oil in the plastics world. So not really a problem. Whoa, that was weird. Which one of these 2 is it that you're... Need this window anymore? It's this one. Okay. So I want you to load oil here and unload oil here and wait till unloaded. We'll get you started. can get rid of these two. And now I've got a fuel distribution. So my pickup. Yeah, my pickup is fuel for there, and it's dropping off here. And again, I can do this with another single train. Excuse me. Just to, in fact, I don't know why I don't just run a truck from over here back and forth. The next question is going to be, do I have a fuel station that's nearby so that the truck can fill up? I don't know that I do, honestly. It's just not that many trucks running around here. Yeah. I mean, I think there's one down this way somewhere. Yeah, it's probably at the end. That's right here. It's a ways to go. But, yeah. I kind of like that idea better than a whole new train, because I don't know, the amount of money that's going to be spent on that is crazy. I could even, these fuel guys aren't particularly busy. They've got 2 more slots available. This would probably keep them somewhat busy if I was grabbing fuel from here. Oops, from here. And delivering it down to there. It's a bit of a hike, but nothing else to buy. All I got to do is. The other option is for it to just use its, its source, and I'll have to remember where this source is. Yeah, it's right here. How big is this? 120. That's not the end of the world. To pick up from here and go down there. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Gravel road, not a mission critical kind of thing. You can certainly keep that thing 50% full quite easily, I would think. Yeah, set this to unload. We'll go to 50%, and we don't need to load anything there. So that's good, and I can get rid of these two. Good. Okay, so now we're down to brass tacks here. So I'm seeing a couple of issues with this already just by having it that much cleaner. So I'm picking up food and meat and clothing, but I'm not dropping off clothing everywhere. So that's an issue. Okay, so that takes care of that. I'll look at all of the wagons in here and I'll get rid of the things that I don't need anymore. Sell them off. One of the tedious little things that we get to deal with. I mean, it certainly isn't the end of the world, but to have to deal with it. And this is probably out somewhere right now, isn't it? No, it is in. Okay. Sell this one. And sell this one. Okay, so now we have 8 locomotives, and don't think I need these for anything either. No. Well, that's what I was doing before. I'd click on that thinking I clicked the garbage can, but I was really only making that window active. I was thinking I was clicking it and nothing happened. Okay, so we have three cities right now that we need to send materials. If you think one for each, I'm going to need at least each product. So I'm going to, this is going to be more than enough, but maybe one more refrigeration in the name of having one for each, so they can run 2 cars. Yeah, and I got two there. 3, yeah. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. There's 10 there. So if I get one more refrigeration, that will allow it to go 3. Which one is this? It's the isotherm. Okay. So I think I've got that all squared away. I'm going to rename this so that I don't confuse myself. This is City Supply. Distribution is a little redundant. Okay. So City Supply. When I say city, I mean, you know, the goods for the citizens. Okay, so I've got that sorted. Now I need to go down to the other end to work out the electronic situation, and I can never remember which one. I think it's this one that's picking up electronics. So yep, it's picking up here. So we can use this DO. I mean, it's pretty busy as well. It's keeping materials there. Let me just check and see how much electronics is being, or where it's dropping off electronics. Okay, we definitely don't need to deal with clothes there. It doesn't even have a source for clothes. Yeah, that's the old. There's another one. Kiamnov is also being dealt with, and I'm guessing that my Adzol is not. It's this, the war stock. Excuse me. Okay. So the last one is going to be this one. Oh, not the last one, but to complete the city one. I'll have to keep an eye on this just to make sure that we are, in fact, getting electronics here, because that's it's been a problem. I think when I was hustling through some of the other situations, I was neglecting this particular stop, and we've run out of electronics, so need to get some dealt with there pretty quickly. So drop off. All right, we've got 8, and there's enough. Let me check the buildings, see how many. Yeah, there's lots sitting around, so I think we're okay there. All right, that's enough of that fiddle farting around. See if we get some trains coming out. Beautiful. Race to see who's going to get there first. Okay, so that's all going to end up happening at some point. I'm going to work on this little intersection junction here. So what I need to do is give it a way in. If I turn on my grid, I think I've got a pretty good line for hitting quite nicely at this spot right here. Not real super happy with that. Just a little kink that's there. It's a little hard to see when was covered. Actually, that probably looks good right there. Okay, and then I can give this a little bit of space to, and not that it really needs space. There's only 3 trains on this. Probably only ever going to be 3 trains on it, but I'm doing splitting them off, allowing them in. That's there. And the next one is, so this is going to be their way in, and then the way out is going to come around this way. So if I start this here and come, it's looking somewhere in that range right there. Nice, pretty gentle curve. Grab this one, and that should come around nicely. So what that's going to allow is all of this track, these 2 tunnels, to be taken out once it's built, obviously. And it'll relieve some of the traffic through here, and also allow me to get rid of a bunch of stuff here so that I can build the actual passenger line that runs from here through down here and connects up. And now we've got at least part of this separated out, our passenger and materials trains. Might do something Dennis might laugh at, but we'll see what happens. It could be interesting to see if it actually pans out the way that I think it might. Excuse me again. Okay, so should be able to build this from the other, when I say other, from this construction office without too much of an issue. Get them, I'll commit to this. I think I like the look of that. And if I do, excuse me, use the semaphore trick here. This really only needs to, just so they can clear. I don't really want them to wait over the road, so I'll put it in this way. And yeah, we should be able to get a couple of trains in here to I should build the other half of this too from an exit perspective. Otherwise, I'm going to have some unhappy trains again. Just give them no particular reason, but give them about 100 meters to clear and connect back in. So we should be able to build this all up. This will be single direction. I can set they're going to complain about getting back on that track too, because they're going to turn around and want to come back this way. So they can come in this way, and I just need to build them a temporary crossover to get back out. they can carry on as if. Don't know that it's absolutely necessary to have that, but there. And then I'll have to double signal these as well. And this one as well. Should, yeah, makes that blue now, so it's okay. Yeah, that should be fine. Allow him to return. And then I'm not going to be messing up all my, excuse me, all my existing infrastructure that's running around. So I'll give this, I'll commit to this. And get our drain CO working. Don't know if they're going to find it automatic auto search or not. Oh, it did. It's got 3. Where's the other ones that it's working on? Which one's this? 1149. Where's 1157? Oh, because they can come through the station. Yep. Oh, interesting. Yeah, hadn't even thought about that. Be interesting to see if they get back. Oh yeah, they'll be able to get back because there's a crossover there. Okay, that's cool. We're up to 83%. Let's have a quick look and see if we've got any. No electronics delivered yet. Might have to rework that scenario. We'll see. Out delivering other things. Is anyone on their way here? Please say yes. Steel and alcohol. Lovely. Not really what I wanted. We're looking up here for materials. Oh, I gotta turn. Should be getting food here shortly. Bringing food. Oh, it hasn't picked up yet. 16%. Okay. I'm gonna get brave and turn my safety net off. The lack of electronics here for the time being isn't going to be a huge issue. Okay, November, coming up to winter here soon. So, this intersection. This one is interesting because, you know, life would be so much simpler if I could take this road out. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not even sure that I need this anymore because there's this road that was built for the cableway that comes directly into town. I don't think there's any other reason other than from when I was building, of course, that it was needed. So I can probably just nuke this whole thing, run my my road down this way for this one, and put a road in for this one. So that'll make this a whole bunch easier for sure. The other thing that I need to deal with on this side is getting rid of some of this power infrastructure. Or not getting rid of, replacing it is really more what I'm trying to say. Because I need the right of way in here. We're going to be breaking it off around here and then snaking over beside and then trying to do a reasonable loop in that way for the excuse me, for the passenger line that will be running directly from here out that way. And cross the bridge, obviously, to work on the iron. The ironworks up there, so. Getting a bunch of steel. Get some clothes in here, people. Or food. I'm going to start getting some very angry people. Offer this. Whoops. If I'm going to do it, I should do it at the warehouse, and then I don't have to do both of them. Just as I say that, okay, so we're getting clothes here. I mean, we had clothes. We had some clothes. It's good that's happening. But food would be very appreciated. Yeah, still just alcohol and more steel. How much steel are we going through? Why would they be bringing steel again? Get it? Anyways, yeah. So I think this road here can just, like I said, just go. Spent a little money on a bridge, but yeah, there's no compelling reason for it to be there, especially when I can upgrade this after the fact. Not necessarily do it in asphalt, but I can certainly do gravel at least, and then everything should be fine from there. Okay, here goes our track layers. Cool. So I'm going to bite the bullet on this and make it go away. This is about the time that the fire's going to start, right? I just know it. It's going to come back to here. And I'll put a gravel road. A gravel dirt road. Put a dirt road here for fire access. There we go. And you know what? I can just connect this up right there. And then that should allow me, once obviously the power connections are gone, some access to this corridor. But I'm going to want to do a little bit of manicuring before I get too carried away with that, because this is not super conducive for the rail that I want to lay here. Long shot. I think it might end up taking most of this out of here. I'm using the smooth terrain smoothing tool. Still hanging in at 83%. Myself a little bit of space there. I think it's going to get much better than that until I remove the power. So this one post, there's always that one post in building electricity that causes grief, you know? I'm going to check, because I'm going to use the helicopters for this. I'm going to check and see what they're working on right now. they've got a lot of stuff in the queue, and I think most of that is stuff that I don't have to get worked on. And if I'm going to take the power out, I want it to be back on as quickly as I can. So I think I'm just going to get rid of these and then reassign after, because that's important, very important. So I should map this out ahead of time. This higher voltage one is gonna come around behind, because I'll be cutting this back to somewhere in this range. Yeah, what I should do, I don't want to come as far back as this necessarily. Oh, I see. He's just working his way out of the traffic world. Great. Let's back things up. Let's back things up really bad until we fix them. Okay, well, he is working. Always makes me nervous, especially when I see those blue ones, because they're, I think this is, yeah, this is food that's getting delivered. And guess where it's going? Stop right here. Solved my problems and created my own. It's starting to go a little bit faster now. That's good. Really shouldn't take too long to get that whole thing sorted out. So anyways, back to the business at hand. Let's reroute. And I think if I can cut that back to there, I should be able to, not without too much issue, actually reconnect that to this post here first. So I usually do this paused because I hate prolonging how everything is, just because I'm slow on the clicks. So there's 2 posts there that I'm taking out. One, oh, there's 3, 2. And I will be putting back in more than 3 posts. I'm a fan of that action. Oh, don't give me that. Need to have at least one more, otherwise the wires are going to be so excuse me, so low. Make sure that I can get out there before I commit to anything. That was the point right here. I think that, yeah, it'll come out. Okay, that's fine. As long as I can get out. This isn't going to be the prettiest, because it's going to sort of bob and weave in there a little bit. And it would be good if, it would be ideal if I could remove all of that, but I don't really want to take the hit for the amount of time that it's going to take to build these, the passenger connection back. So it's going to be what it is. Not everything can be purdy. Okay, so there's that one. And now my medium voltage. This comes back to there, and you got to, in this branch, you have to take it all the way back to reconnect this back up, because you need a place that has a road to actually do the, well, I guess I could, you know what? I've got helicopters. I think the helicopter can get to that. Should I take the chance? Sure. Sure. So I want this somewhere in here. Just from a planning perspective, it's going to be 2. And now for power, putting the power back. Can put 1 there, and oh, of course. Silly. Wonder what happens if I do it this way. Yeah, it just connects. Or does it? Infrastructure doesn't like. Yeah, I can't put the post down that it needs, right? Okay. That's it. That's all. So there. It's all cleared out. I'm the wrong. The last post is right there. Try to make this as smooth as possible. How far up can I take it? Right to there. Okay. I thought that one was going to be the problem child. It's actually not. It's the inside one. So I can't go from that node. I'll have to go from this node. Is that even going to allow the... Okay, so I have to go from there. Okay. All better now. Yeah, it's going to be a little funky, but what do you do? Deal with it. It will be functional. And it will remove these two, allow me to remove these 2 pieces of track and some separation for all of the... It'll get the passenger traffic off of this whole section here. So all the goods can flow. This is still a backup situation because he's still not out of the way. Oh, I started time. Get back into the power, commit that, and get the helicopters building this right now. Right there. And right there. Okay, good. Good to go. Right, and short term, I'm going to need this. But it will be going away once we build. Shouldn't say build. Once we get this this intersection dealt with, which isn't going to be in this episode. What we'll be doing is running the main line up this way and through, and then redoing this whole area completely. Might be able to get this. I'm not sure it's a great idea to put another junction there while this one still exists. But we'll tackle that whole scenario. I have to figure out how I can stage this one so that I can still allow access, and may end up building, more of a level crossing, an interim level crossing, to allow me to access there. Yay, helicopters. Okay, rail. So what we did was we kind of built a little bit of a buffer here just to separate them out a little bit. Looks like a pretty reasonable turn. And then to keep the spacing all the way back, just run this all the way along. Not sure how far up I'm going to need to keep the spacing, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. And we're hanging at 83%. It looks like we're clearing up here a little bit now, so that's good. And I'm guessing we have plenty-o, yeah. Purchase can go away. Clear, thank you. Where are you guys waiting? Yeah, you shouldn't be waiting anymore. Okay, that's just the remnants of the rest of the... yeah, train. Do you want me to stop saying train yet? Oh, heating plant. Whoa, I had a few trains complaining, did I? Oh, and electricity, yeah. That's going to be the next wave of messages. Put a fire out, thank you. Cool. So, get this section. Whoa, don't do that. I want you to be parallel here. Not whatever you thought you wanted to do. Finicky. Okay. Now this next piece is going to be a little bit tricky because a little bit tricky. I would like to have a little bit more space. So I think I'm going to hold off on building any of that for the time being. Just because I want to actually branch from further up here to give myself some, you know, a little bit of space, excuse me, coming into, which I don't have at this moment. So the train won't fit in any of those spots there. So I mean, the other option, to use that as an out, and once the out is built, I'm just trying to reason this out in my head if this is going to work. Will I even have a way in? If I did a loop here, I might have a way in, or if I went to the test branch, I'd probably have a way in as well, because the trains will turn around now. So if I connected this from here, because I'm thinking they're parallel at this point. So if I connected this to here, it's going to allow me to connect this to here. Wow. I think it thinks those are parallel though. Not sure what's going to happen. Well, it looks like it might be. And then once I can get rid of this section, I can connect this up to the other side. I don't know if that's great or not. Not really buying myself a whole bunch there. In terms of space, I mean, from here up to there. How much space am I going to need? I'm not... Not really sure, honestly. I really would prefer it to be up here. Do that. What's my 150 meters from here? Where's my signal at? I need that to measure from. Yeah, if I just go from the bridge. Okay, so that's, I mean, from here. Yeah, that's not even. Yeah. I'm not going to get. Those trains aren't 150 meters, obviously. I could probably space it just for that. Let me just pause this and measure one of these trains. Just for the hell of it. And give a little bit of extra. So it's 80. So it's less. If I had 100, 100 would be fine, right? That gives me more than enough space. So if I go from here to 100. So if I go from here to there, that's about the point that I want to branch off. On the first leg. Right about there. Somewhere in that range. Stop it. Because that leaves me a train's width in there. It doesn't leave me a train's width there, but this is just straight through traffic, and there's two trains on. There will be two trains on that, so there's really no reason to get too worked up about that whole scenario. So, am I fussing about something that doesn't really matter? That's the question. Or is that the game? The game, perhaps. Yeah, it's certainly not going to let me do anything. Oh, it went green. Oh, yeah. Got a power line in the way there. You know what? I think it's going to be fine. Won't be the prettiest, but it will work. Just connect back up. There. Separated everything out. Just let her go. Down to 82%. Signals. Get a signal wrong on this? I don't know why you... Oh. You think you can't get out. That's odd. Where do you think you have a problem? Oh, because you're trying to go that way? Well, don't try to go that way. It's not built. I don't think I have any options. I gotta send this guy home. That's kind of funny. So you're doing that one next. That's good. Get her done, boys. Or girls. Okay. So, what's my happiness issue? What are you missing? Electronics. Are we still not getting electronics? No, we got electronics now. These might be remnant leftover problems because we did go through a spell where food and electronics were not dealt. If it keeps dropping, I should check each of the cities just to make sure. Food, electronics. Food isn't the most. Bringing alcohol. And we're bringing food now. Okay, good. Good. I think it's starting to work a little bit better now. Having it a little bit more focused. I'm probably not making, I don't know if I'm, making money. Money's, at this point in the game, is fairly irrelevant because you're making so much money off of all of the other products that you're dealing with that it's really isn't that much of an issue. I don't know that they can get in there to build this, and I got to figure out a way to allow them to. Oops. Even after that's connected up. This is going to be a tricky one. I think my... I don't even know. I don't think there's enough space to allow that. The little bubble turnaround there. Yikes. And you're doing the same thing. Get it? I thought that was all signaled up nicely to make it work. I mean, they're doubled. There's a way back. Double. Yep. Sometimes brains in the game baffle me. Just some of their behaviors. Okay. Back to this. We're going to allow a train to get on this. To build it. Like a train, a track builder. So many. I'd have to go crazy with this. I don't know. I mean, I just building something that's like completely goofy just to make it happen. And I got the same scenario when I'm trying to build the piece that's cut off, that's going through the loop. So like once this is connected up, how am I going to get that in there? Very good question. Suppose if you did something like, yeah, I think that's the only option, is to get rid of the spacer track and then just build across and across right from here. And the train CO in Bramsky can deal with that. Yeah, that's the only option, honestly. Yeah. Okay, let's get rid of this and get constructing this. Get rid of some nodes too while I'm at it. Just 'cause nodes. Okay. don't know if they annoy you guys as much as they annoyed me, but once I found out how to get rid of them, I've done it every time I remember. I think generally the fewer nodes you have, the better. Those are, I don't know from a game perspective if those are data points that they need to what is it? To keep. So the fewer of them, the better, or what exactly that is. But if I build this across, building in the way, there's no building in the way. From there, and then go build both. Because they need a return, right? I don't think it's going to let me do this kind of thing. No. Think this through. Stop for a second and think about it. So this will allow them to get on here and build that. And then if I have another cross, I can do that, and I can build whatever loops I want in here to get them to build back in this direction. Nobody's gonna end up taking it because it's goes basically nowhere. It doesn't have. It might be a little bit of a shortcut for the passenger train once it is dealt with, but that's a ways down the road, honestly. So if I bring this down to here and go like this, there, and bring that to there. Well, we still need, and then I need a crossover to allow them to get to both sides. Why are you making it more complicated than it needs to be? This thing, if I build a crossover here, actually if I build a crossover in the junction, it's even better because you're in a junction already. If it'll let me, this is long enough. No, it's not long enough. Okay, well, good idea. Oh. Gonna work on both sides. Imagine that. Well, this will work. Well, they can get to both sides, so I can just take this one directly over to this side. Because they'll be able to get to both as long as I signal this up properly. Doesn't like something there. Okay, just deal with it. Get those nodes dealt with. So now we can build from here all the way up. They'll be able to turn around. Actually, yeah. They'll be able to turn around and come back and get whatever direction they need to get to. Hope I don't confuse the rest of the trains by setting these signals up like this. Double that, and no, it should be fine. Like that. Yep, that'll be fine. We'll have to put a little signal here. in there so that when they get those built, they clear that junction. Okay. I think I can live with this. It's not the prettiest by any stretch. But it should work, and it looks like our power is all back on, so that's beautiful. Okay. I can commit to that. Get our seldom used rail line or rail construction office. It's been a while since they've been used. I was thinking of decommissioning them, but now I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. Okay, now you should be able to get there. To both. Okay, good. Okay. A little hide it trick and then see how we're doing here. It's taking them a while to get in there. Oh. I don't know if this is confusing them or what's actually happening there. Built the first section, no problem. Now we can't get the rest of it working. Okay, I think I'm going to slip into a bit of a time lapse here now. I'm just going to let this go and let them build, try to monitor things. Holding at 82%, so hopefully everything's kind of stabilizing. Anyways, we'll see you on the other side. And I'm back. It's probably enough of a time lapse. We're getting pretty close. I think there's just the one section of track left here to build, and then we've completed this loop that should power this this little section up here. There's nothing that can be selected for here, so I know that that's all electrified. It's just the fact that this one track here isn't. Well, this one and that one. But it'll should be done in one quick pass. As soon as they get out here, I think he's on his way. I've done a ride along for a while. I'm not even sure where he is. Oh, he's pretty close. Stuck in his own traffic. There we go. Get building that thing so we can start ripping some rail out and call this an episode. I just want to see that one finished. We've just basically ready to put the loop in on the other one as soon as they're finished with the last piece of concrete track over there, and then we can put a wrap on this one. I was coming from... Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, lost my bearings. Slowly making progress in the tourism area. Hasn't been a real big priority, but we'll get there at some point. Bit of an experiment, really. I'm not sure how it's going to work out without an actual town for workers. Hopefully we can bring enough in by train. That would be a good thing. And if not, then we'll deal with it at that point. It's just tourists, so they'll rate us on whatever platform they see fit. If we're not meeting their expectations. And I don't know if you noticed right at the end there, I did continue the highway, start construction on these two. Need to get them going, and there was a little bit of a, I don't know, thought I had more than enough cars to pick up, but it would appear that I didn't, so I purchased two more on a gamble, and it paid off, and now we're building the ship again. We've got all the materials that we need. They're all being delivered, so that's good. Back in the shipping business again. I'd noticed that sooner because it takes a long time to build some of these ships. Almost makes you think that it might be worth having a couple of those dry docks, just so that you can, get building some of these bigger ships, and it takes pretty substantial amount of time, so it's a lot of resources though to deal with. It looks like they're done with this section, so I can start a turnaround that'll let me work on this side. I think I'll yeah, I don't know. I was thinking I'd wait for I should probably go a little further with this. Give myself a little bit of space. A little bit further with, maybe bring it out a bit so I can snap it in here. Yeah, that should be fine. Now if I commit this rail, I think that commits all the rail up here as well, if I haven't done that already. I had to stop here because of terrain issues. I don't have until these come online, I don't have anything to manage terrain, and I'm not displeased with this. The only thing I'm a little bit unsure about is getting access in here, and it's not like I'm going to get them building this right away, and I don't have the auto search on, so that's not a big deal either. So yeah, it's not going to be a problem. Just wanted to make sure before I put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to get these guys working on this one, just so I don't forget next time we fire this up. Oh, he didn't finish that. That's annoying. He only did the little section. Normally they would carry on. I wonder if that's a function of not having the auto search on. And I turned that off. That's weird because it's selected now. Turned the auto search off because they were fighting over building this, and I really wanted them to focus on this. This is the one I wanted this done this episode. But no. Well, we'll get past it. There's only the one section left that can be worked on right now. Wonder if anyone's coming. Nope. Nope, they aren't. Kind of doubt these guys will be here before the next one comes, but yeah, so more of the plans. Got to figure out a way to peel this off and get it to come up and around, and then tie back in here. And the other plans will be to, I think I talked about this at the start, connect these in here. But that won't be done until I get this, which will become the main line, up through here, and get rid of that. And then ultimately this whole junction's going to be gone as well. So that'll be a big chunk of land taken back. Then I got to work on having this fed on its own. You know, as we've talked about before, or as Dennis has talked about, and I've tried to absorb as much as I can, separating our lines and having passenger lines have their, basically a direct route. We talked about a couple of options. Not sure how difficult it would be to, instead of going out and around and up and over and, through here, making that about as long a trip as I could be made. Trying to get something to come up through here. I don't know how feasible that is. Not sure. The other thing we kind of, it just from a whole, how much infrastructure has to move to get that to happen, and it's going to have to either go underground and come up over, on this side. It's not like we need that many trains for this. How many have we got on here? Yeah, 4 trains. So it's not that big a deal. The other thing, he did talk about this, and it made sense, was to come from this side, put a train station on this side, because the two that are in here are, completely boxed in. I hadn't, when I built this city and planned it, this wasn't really part of the equation in my mind, so the retrofit is going to try to make that happen. And the other nice thing about making it come this way is you've isolated it completely again from the goods storage or the goods traffic that's happening, which is desirable for sure. Thing is, we're coming from a low area to a high area. I mean, you might be able to tunnel through here. We can give it a try and see if it'll even go. I don't know if it will or not. Oh, it's not close enough. Thought I saw it flash green for a second there. I wonder if I go from there. Yeah, you go up the hill and it just doesn't cooperate there. I don't know. The other option is to build a big bridge from here over. Or you just run a whole bunch more people down. Well, that's maxed already. I'm thinking the other option would be come through here and up. I have to rebuild these because that's definitely not going to be wide enough. And I'd have to relocate that. That's not the end of the world. Something fairly simple to do. The other option might be either have, tram or something like that runs down, turn. Yeah. A lot of people to get down there. 420 per shift. So 1,200 altogether. Is anybody coming to work on this? Yes. Okay. It's good. We're nearing the end. Get this built. Build this and then start electrifying it. That'll be a next episode thing. We're not going to sit through that. I don't think we need to lengthen this out any more than we already have. So kind of funny that the one that's further away takes got here quicker. Here he comes here. Can't wait to see it in action, honestly. See how much better this whole throughput is on this side, even with this junction here. We shall see. In fact, I don't even know that this junction remains, because if I remember correctly, this will be peeled off up here to connect in up on at this point, because that's going to become a spur and a rail yard, because the traffic will go up this way. It's just going to be a matter of allowing some kind of junction on the less used side of the main line off the spur, if that's even the right term. Okay, let's watch him finish up, and then we can hopefully put a bow on it. Please carry on. Maybe I should pull a sneaky and give it one of those. Because I don't want to sit through another cycle of waiting for him. There we go, good. I should finish up. Going back home and coming back, so. I don't know why that's not electrified. This section not? Why does it think that's an issue? Don't tell me. Yep. Never ever done that before. Shoot. Had the bow almost ready to be tied. Be another 5 minutes or so. I don't know if I have anything else to ramble on about. At least he figured out how to get out of there. Probably signal this side properly too, instead of having it both ways. Well, they couldn't go both ways anyways, could they? Wonder if they'll start to use that. I don't know if it's a shorter route or not. Would likely be faster though, I would think. And I can change the signals on this as well. Remove that. Sorry, got into mumble mode there. Let's see, is anyone on their way? Yep. Cool. Well, we might even get this little turnaround done before this episode ends. Yeah, there he is. It won't be a full 5 minutes. An interesting build. I was quite happy because when I first did my initial run on how I was going to lay this all out, I was thinking I'm going to have to move this power line over here to make space to get in, and just on almost a whim I decided, well, why don't I give it a try? And sure enough, it would fit. And then this was like it was planned. It wasn't, but it was like it was planned. It just went absolutely perfectly through there. So that was quite nice. Sometimes you get nice surprises, right? It's amazing how much just the look of this whole thing changes when you get this recover the space back from here, how much cleaner it looks. And it's just we'd done this oops, clouds, not cool. This whole intersection, rework. Probably gonna have to do some funkiness down here, but it's really not a hard thing to deal with. The other thing we talked about doing as well, a little bit of work, is instead of spinning this out on this side and then having, obviously you want to separate these, but having this in the middle means you either have to go up or underneath, which isn't cool. So instead of branching this off here, just run this right out through here. This isn't a, overly, high traffic station. So, you can just run straight through. Neither of them is, because this is clothing. It really isn't used that much. So having that run out and around that way. In the way my brain worked with trains before was cool, but when you're trying to separate them, you want to do it at ground level as much as you can, just because it's much easier to build and design. Not nearly as big a pain to try to get bridges sorted out. And oh, did I miss another little piece? Makes me crazy. Sorry about that. Yeah, and he's going out that way. Even though there's a two-way here, so that's cool. It's actually in use. Can't quite use this piece yet. Who's blocking him? Oh, I see. Yep. Okay. Nice. There you go, Dennis. It's in use. Nice. Did he just do a U-turn? That's funny. Where's he going? Where's he coming from? Why would he do a U-turn? Wow, that's interesting. Sorry, I just saw that. A little shocking. Oh, two at once. How much you taking? Nice. Okay. I was actually considering setting this up to wait till loaded. Because this is, it's only got 7 pump jacks, and I think I'm going to have to end up siphoning some off of here just for, excuse me, for throughput purposes, because by the time they make their trip out and back, this isn't anywhere near full, and it looks like it's only producing about 900 and however many he took before he decided it was time to go. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get these, some of the oil from these two fed into here, so we can keep this full as well, so they can do full loads and not have to sit and wait for this many pump jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pump jacks that are feeding it. Not quite enough to keep up with the ships. So there's our last track builder. Another quick look at the I was going to go up and talk about my brain cramps on okay, they're paving that. Nice. My brain cramps in this, I was having a hard time getting that all fit in, and fits. I've got the helicopter here. I got to figure out a way to get a warehouse in so they can pick up the electrical and mechanical components, and then I got to figure out a way to get rail in here reasonably. I'm not going to need a whole bunch. I got to bring bitumen, gravel, mechanical components, steel, that kind of stuff. So I was a little concerned that this isn't quite enough space, and I think that may be the case. It just isn't enough space, at least on one side of the rail, and I didn't really want to try to do it on 2 sides of the rail, because we get the road across it, and yeah. It's just not ideal by any stretch. So I was thinking it might fit and I might be able to squeeze everything in, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a reasonable way to get rail into here, so maybe doing some redesign on that, or just biting the bullet and going on the other side with some of the other goods. I'm not a big fan of cramping it in, and I'm already looking at it thinking it's cramped, so if I'm trying to put more in there, there's a pretty good chance it's just going to be cramped. Yeah, I used that word 3 times. Okay, we're done. We're done. So that means I can rip that whole piece of rail out. I'll do that quickly before this ends, just because it's disconnected. It's disconnected. Cool. That's all done. Get my signals sorted here. One way. One way. One way. One way. Don't need these two. Oh, Baldwin. Baldwin. Click on the wrong button. Forgive me. Spend all that time working on it, and then you make a little stupid mistake like that. Fortunately, there's a few rubles in the bank. Okay. Click. There we go. Those nodes out of there. This is all good. I can start it up again. Remove this. So, 91%. I haven't seen that for a long time. Making sure they have everything they need is a thing, hey? Let's wait for this train to leave this block. Otherwise they don't clear, right? Okay, there we go. Good. Really good. Yeah. Not going to let me clear this, are they? Long block, and then once we get that cleared out, it's going to be smooth sailing in here. Yeah. It's my opportunity. There we go. Okay, good. Okay. I think I'll get rid of this. I think I can do that, right? All right. There we go. I know this is probably a little bit longer. It needed to be, but it is what it is. I got this first part dealt with. We'll finish this one off in the next episode. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it, and take care. Thank you.